Welcome to another video on this channel. As you know, the purpose of this channel is to convey the basic concepts of mutual fund investing to new mutual fund investors or people who are new to the world of investing in a very simple and easy to understand way. Today, we are going to discuss why you, as a retail investor or as a new investor, must stay away from random social media stock investment groups. My name is Paresh. I'm a AMFI registered and NISM certified mutual fund distributor and advisor. This is my ARN number 334516. Before we move ahead, this disclaimer is very necessary. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks, and you need to read all scheme related documents carefully. The past performance of any mutual fund scheme is not necessarily indicative of future performance of that scheme. So you will be surprised to know that new investors, people who are new to the world of investing, whether it is through mutual funds or through direct investing, although most of the scams are related to direct investing, they lose crores of rupees per head. This is not, I'm not talking about the entire amount that people have lost to all these social media stock scams. But on an average, if you look at, I mean, these are some of the just a couple of news headlines from the last few months. So a Mumbai woman lost 8 crore rupees to online stock scam over 2 months after WhatsApp message. Uh, a doctor who lost nearly 76 lakh again to a similar online, stock market scam on WhatsApp group. Uh, and there are many such news which come out almost every day, and this is just bad investing or believing in frauds, and therefore SEBI has actually consistently cautioned against investing based on tips, unsolicited messages, etc. This is the latest, I mean, May 2025 notice to investors on stock market scams through social media platforms. Uh, I have just kind of reproduced some part of that notice, the text of that notice. But remember that these social media groups where you're automatically added to these social media groups like WhatsApp, Telegram, even Facebook, such entities usually send unsolicited invitations in the form of links to join WhatsApp groups like VIP group, free trading courses, etc. to prospective clients. These entities create fake profiles that portray them as experts in the securities market. Many times, these entities impersonate SEBI registered intermediaries, well known public figures, celebrities, CEOs, MDs, etc., of established organizations. So, when you come into the market, even as a new mutual fund investor uh, uh, or a prospective investor, uh, most of the times the news spreads in the market that there is this new person who is not really aware of what investing is about, and that person is looking for mutual fund investment guidelines or suggestions. And oftentimes these scamsters who are scanning various social media platforms like Reddit or Facebook or other WhatsApp groups will know that a new person who does not know much about stock market investing has come into the market, and that person might be looking for mutual fund investments. But they will know that since they are looking for stock market investments, they will still send you links to these to join these groups. And once you join these groups, the group image might that be of a very well known personality, somebody who is a market guru, somebody who appears on many news channels. uh, the image could also be a logo of a prominent mutual fund company or a brokerage, whatever, and all these cases are real. Okay, these this is exactly how these scams work, and the entire purpose of this video is to kind of caution you against joining these kind of groups. See, no reputed or a SEBI registered investment advisor will send you random links to join their WhatsApp groups. So you need to exercise extreme caution when it comes to investing your hard earned money into the stock market. As you saw on the previous slides, even well educated people fall prey to such scams. So no doctor, a doctor is obviously some well educated professional, but even well educated people like doctors, architects, uh, even even many other investment well educated professionals like teachers are falling prey to such scams. So this entire behavior, right? To join the wrong social media groups, to join WhatsApp groups where stock tips are being given. Uh, this comes down to a very old saying that birds of a feather flock together, right? And this is not some age-old saying. There is a lot of scientific research behind this, behind the behavior of animals also, as well as the behavior of humans. Now this behavior among humans has a scientific term called as homophily. So, homophily is a scientifically supported phenomenon where individuals tend to form associations with others who are similar to them in various traits, including personality, attitudes, beliefs, demographics, and social preferences. Now, this is not just relevant for stock market investing, this is relevant for almost every other form of life. Now, if you kind of examine your own social circles, whether the kind of people you network with at your workplace, whether the kind of people you are friends with from your college days or school days, or whether the kind of people that you hang out with in your housing society, or in your housing colony where you live, you will observe that you know the people that you associate with, you share a lot of traits with them. Okay. uh, the ideas that the idea that opposites attract is mostly in fiction, right? So this is an idea which has been popularized by movies or romantic novels where two people who are of completely opposite personality attract each other and somehow live happily ever after. Now, that doesn't happen. Homophily is also true for romantic relationships or even marriages. Only the people who share a lot of common personality traits, attitudes, beliefs, uh, only those kind of relationships work out. But anyway, coming back to the stock market investing, remember that when you are starting your journey as a new investor, whether as a mutual fund investor or as a direct equity investor, I would strongly suggest going into direct equity if you are a new investor. If you do not know much about investing, if you are not aware of the financial markets, if you don't know how financial analysis is done, I would strongly recommend you to stick to investing in equity markets through mutual funds. But if you are a new investor, right, you need to associate with the right people, and that starts with everything, right from associating with the right advisors, brokers, the research outlets that you subscribe to. You also need to be careful about what kind of other investors you associate with. Right? So it is quite common among retail investors to form WhatsApp groups, right? And then people kind of use that platform to brainstorm with each other in terms of identifying the right stock ideas. Let's say, should I buy this share? These are some of the reasons that I think this share is a good buy. And then the other people will give their opinions, and that is fine. But at the same time, you have to really be very careful about what kind of conversations are happening in that group. Is it really a brainstorming group, or is it just some random tips giving group where somebody is just posting that this is the stock, it is going to double or triple in the next 2 3 weeks. So even if you find yourself into a fraudulent group where nothing of significance is happening but only random stock tips are being given, you also need to examine your own behavior, that how come you ended up being a member of this group, right? Most probably you were sent a random link to join this group, or you were added automatically to that particular group, and you should have immediately exited from that group, right? The sheer fact that you still stuck to that group and probably read the messages on that group and acted on those tips also, which means you also believe that stock market is some sort of a casino, some sort of a gambling, a way to make easy money. And that is completely wrong, as you have seen multiple videos on this channel, whether it is the video on long term investing, whether it is the video on the value investment philosophy. uh, you would have understood that the stock market investing is a very long term game. You cannot make good amount of money in a very short period in stock markets. You have to identify quality companies, you have to study them, and then only you have to invest in them and stick to your investment decision for a long time for your investment to bear fruits. So the multiple reports which are coming in, or the multiple news that is coming in almost every day, that some investor got duped by fake WhatsApp groups and all that stuff. The retail investors themselves probably need to analyze their own behavior, their own traits. In most of the cases, these persons acted on those tips because somewhere they believed that stock market is a casino. Somewhere they believed that easy and quick money can be made in the stock markets, and somewhere they probably shared the same behavior traits with other gullible members of the same WhatsApp group. So these groups or these stocks, okay, are typically called as operator stocks. That's the industry terminology. And these are basically companies which are almost worthless. They do not have any proper business of their own. Their financials are in shambles. And the operators, who are basically bad people who want to benefit from your ignorance, who want to benefit from your uh, greed, are probably pushing these stocks onto you so that you buy them. And as many and many people buy those stocks, their price goes up so that these people can sell their shareholding, make good money, and get out of those stocks, while you hold a piece of worthless paper which eventually almost always crashes to zero or near zero. So that is how people lose their money in the stock market. In some of these cases, the apps which are promoted through these WhatsApp groups, they are not SEBI registered apps. So you just invest your money and you see a virtual profit, but when you try to redeem that profit, the app will give an error message saying that you might need to put some additional collateral. So when you are investing in stock markets, whether through direct equity route or through mutual fund route, you need to be extremely careful about the kind of people that you are dealing with, the kind of people you associate with, right? So this is the message: network with the right people. This is a French philosopher, Montaigne, and this is what he said about life in general, that how much easier it is to not get into it than to get out of it, right? So how much easier it is to not get into these kind of groups, rather than once you become part of these groups, right? You will keep seeing tips. uh, you'll keep seeing members posting screenshots how much profit they made by acting on those tips. And that's how these groups work, that's how these scams work, right? So as more and more people start talking about this, how they have made money, then you also get greedy about it, and you also think that you can probably act on those tips. And maybe for a few weeks, or maybe for a couple of months, you might see some money or some profit, but ultimately those stocks crash out. And in some cases, those apps themselves are fake. So whatever profit you see is virtual profit. The moment you try to redeem it, you cannot redeem anything because that money is gone, right? So this is a very short video, but I thought of putting it here because for new investors, even if they are looking to invest in mutual funds, getting into the circle of such bad people is very easy. Falling into the trap of such bad people is very easy. And you need to be extremely aware of the kind of people that you associate with when you are coming into the stock market. So you need to deal only with trusted advisors. Okay, always check the credentials and SEBI registration details of advisors, investment platforms, and all other intermediaries, right? So don't just randomly download an app and start investing. Go online, go to the website of that app. If they do not have a website where they have displayed their SEBI registration details, like at the beginning of every video, I'm displaying my ARN number. Now this is a public number. Anybody can go on Amphi website and check that number, ARN number 334516. You will find my name associated with that. So likewise, any person or any entity, be it an app, a website, or any other intermediary that is dealing in stock market, has to be registered with SEBI in one way or other. This is a highly regulated field. So people who are not showing their credentials to you, they are not trustworthy. Do not act on their tips, do not act on their advice. So if you are looking to start your mutual fund investment journey, you can contact me on this WhatsApp number 975730929. I would be happy to advise you in terms of what are the right mutual fund schemes for you, based on your investment horizon, based on your goal, and based on your risk appetite. Thank you.